Welcome back to the Bodhi Bros, folks. I am, as always, John with the J.
And I am Phoenix Ray.
And today we decided it's my turn to pick a deck, but Ray's like, are you not feeling a deck? I'm like, I'm feeling a deck, but I don't know if I'm feeling one of my decks. So we picked one of Ray's decks. And what do we got, Ray?
We got the Earth Warriors Oracle. Dun-dun.
Love this deck. And so what we're going to do is Ray readies himself and stuff, as always, is we are going to, he is going to clear out the old energy, bring in the new, connect to his heart, connect to source, and welcome in a message. Now, you can take this opportunity to ask a question or set an intention or just allow the message to come. You don't have to take it as a message for you, but I'm telling you, if you show up for this podcast, maybe pay attention to this message because you're a match for it. What Ray and I are going to do is utilize this card as a diving board of sorts to cannonball into a sea of spirit talk conversation, as is inspired by the message that comes to us. So without any further ado, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, and we have the card is number 28, Quente, Sweet Paradox of Empowering Grace. Sweet Paradox of Empowering Grace. So here's what the card looks like.
Okay, we get a little hummingbird again, thematically popping up for us often. Man, such a match for hummingbirds. Which medicine is, in a nutshell, that of joy?
All right. So let me read this here. So
as a side message, you could always Google hummingbird medicine totem, intuitively pick out a site, get an alternative, not alternative, but an accenting message as well to go along with Phoenix Ray's words that are about to drip drop of the drippy drop.
All right, so I'm going to read the top part, and I'm going to read the part where it says in reading. So there's like 3 parts, so I'm just going to read the top 2. It looks pretty short.
Okay.
When the mind says no, but the heart leaps with joy, we are ripe for a transmission of empowering grace. The sweet paradox is that the more impossible the situation appears to be, the more we are supported through grace, and our divine success manifests, swift, and complete. Let the faith of the heart overcome doubt. Allow your mind to be filled with wonder at the unlimited power of the divine, and you shall bear witness to sacred manifestation. Remember the second part. When there is something within your heart that you know you are on this planet to accomplish, you shall be given equal grace, power, talent, and ability to succeed in that mission. This is the divine promise that the sacred plan, and this is divine promise and the sacred plan for you. If a miracle is required for success, then one shall be given. Pray with courage and confidence for your rightful divine inheritance, and allow your bold heart and loving soul to believe in your beautiful, hope-filled destiny.
I like it a lot. It's beautiful. I mean, very simple. We decided that we want to do a quick episode today because we tried to go live on Patreon, but there are some rules and ramifications to doing that. We got to get Ray a few more followers on his account, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. It didn't happen. So we're like, man, we didn't get to do the podcast live. Let's do a quick episode. And we got the perfect message because I don't think there's a lot to be said here today, but we'll share some things. And first and foremost that comes to my mind is that surrendering to your passion, surrendering to yourself in a way that is an allowance of that inner artist coming forth and being born or reborn, allowing your true colors to shine despite the odds or despite the present circumstance upon which you live in and are surrounded by. the voices that can be very shackling and whatnot. Um, Allow yourself to experience liberation for once and trust in the flow of divinity, and that you will be supported. It might be a bumpy ride, but if you're like, I can't do this life anymore, I can't honor this thing that I'm programmed and plugged into in a way that's no longer comfortable. I want to honor what inherently is screaming inside of me that wants to break free and be made available for the world to witness. And then watch that ride freaking unfurl. Like I said, it could get a little bumpy, but rest assured you'll always be supported in that journey. I'm living proof of that, man. I still have a roof over my head, more food than I need at my disposal, and I can't, Ray, I can't
Mhm.
give up on my dream. I won't, of being a healthy, sustainable entertainer, writer, comedian, actor, whatever, all the things that I want to do as far as the artist in me is concerned. I feel that it's my purpose, my passion, my mission to share what's in me with the world. And in one way or another, I'll be supported. And so far, I may not have the all the zeros in the bank account, but I'm still on the journey, and I'm still sharing the content and building and building
You're
the
living your
dream.
purpose.
So I'm still here.
Yeah. What this card kind of spoke to me about, it was the paradox. It seems like the paradox between the mind and the heart, where sometimes we may have that passion, we may feel that in that heart, our heart wants something, but then it's sometimes like the mind will kind of put on the brakes. We'll look at a situation and we, like I said, like, it might be like, oh man, it just seems impossible. Like, never gonna get there. Why even, the mind is all those doubts and those fears and that resistance in the mind. And we know we're big about not bypassing anything, and so we listen to those. We listen to that voice of the doubt, the voice of the fear, and that stuff. And you acknowledge it. You listen to it. You may have to go into it and face it a little on a deeper level. Maybe not. But maybe it's just because in your past, maybe you haven't had you felt worthy enough, or maybe you never had any kind of level of success, and now you have this drive within your heart, this passion, and that mind's like saying, well, let one time you try to, like, go out for the baseball team, or you try to go out for the basketball team, and how did that work out? You embarrassed yourself, or and the mind will always bring back these past experiences of failure, of doubt, and kind of remind you. But really, what it's trying to do is trying to protect you from getting hurt, re-experiencing whatever that was. So you may just have to be, look at that voice of fear and whatever, and say, thank you, thank you for looking out for me. I'm well aware of the doubts and the danger of this, but you know what? I'm using my free will to go towards the heart and listen to that voice of the heart, that drive and that passion, because this is what I want to be. I'm on this planet. I'm in this level for my conscious to expand. I'm here to expand myself, not to limit myself.
Right.
And you have to you want to be aware of certain threats and certain dangers, and there's always calculated risk, and you just don't go in ignoring all risk. Of course,
Right.
you listen to it, but then and you calculate it, but it doesn't let you stop. It doesn't stop you. It
Yeah.
doesn't stop you from going towards what you want. And the heart, the power of the heart is tremendously stronger than the power of the mind. So that is going to be that pull that's going to pull you to where you want to be, where you need to be, because that's what you're here for, here to expand and to be the greatest versions of ourselves. So when you do that, you're aligned with the universe. That's what the universe wants. That's what the universe wants from you, is to expand, and wants you to be that, because you are the universe. So the universe is not against itself. It's just your own thoughts, like that, the confusion, the comparing yourself to other people, those past experiences of failure, that are those obstacles that kind of shield that from happening, that kind of limit you, put you in that box.
Yeah. Well spoken, sir. I feel like you were touching on, starting to touch on something that we expounded upon in the live conversation with my buddy Clayton. And we were talking about our journey toward TikTok and going on live and stuff, and not listening to that voice that's like, no, 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 not safe, don't go there, don't do that, and trolls and haters and this and that and all this. Like, you remember when you tried this, like Ray said, trying out for the team, and you embarrassed yourself. No, 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 no. Remember when you deleted all your social media accounts because you did all that stuff, right? All those things you can take. This is a lifelong journey, man. This isn't about get rich quick schemes or overnight stardom or success. You can take baby steps on this journey of expansion. You don't have to expand like this. You can expand very, 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 very slowly and comfortably as you start to do things that might initially at first be uncomfortable. And that's the way to bypass bulldozing, to put those two words together, ironically, right? And because we don't want to bulldoze that voice or those feelings, those things that are trying to tell us it's not safe because it's trying to protect us. But we want to bring loving awareness to that voice, that dialogue, that conversation, and say, I hear you. Let's get on board and do this. We're not going to do this. We're just going to do this, and then see how it feels, see how it works out, and then maybe add this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and this, and this.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is you're slowly building confidence, trust, love, and that voice, which is that inner child that's pushing back and stuff and saying, no, 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 trauma, pastor, this and that, is seeing you give attention to them and presence to them in the same breath as showing them that there is a way that we can enjoy and expand and it be safe at the same time. May there be some bumps and bruises along the way? Absolutely. But we can give care to that and attention to that and not just push it off to the side. And you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, for some reason when you were saying all that, it kind of reminded me of like when I first started going in we had a swimming pool growing up, and I was scared of the water. Kind of putting your foot in the, started off by just putting your feet in the water and getting used to that. And then you kind of, you go into the shallow end and you just get used to just standing in the water. Then you get used to holding onto the edge and letting your kind of your legs kind of float.
Yeah.
And you kind of graduate through steps, and it's okay, and you have to realize, some people just cannonball right in and they swim right away, but it's okay. However, your journey is unique to you, and there's really no one judging you. There's no like test score you're gonna get on how fast how long it took you and how,
Right.
whatever. There's no
How,
one sitting there like, oh well, this
right.
person, that's
Right.
just our own mind. That's just
How
our own.
successful is your business? How many followers do you have? All this stuff. Just make the page, right? Just make the page. Don't even publish the page. Just make the web page, make the Facebook page or the TikTok, the Instagram, whatever. Just make the page and like look at it and sit back and be like, I took that little step. Don't tell your friends about it yet or anything like that, or try to get your mom or dad or anyone to check it out. Just make the page and then see how it feels and like
Mhm.
let ride that for a little while. Or like race, maybe you're at a faster pace and you want to jump all in. That's fine too. We're all,
Yeah,
we're all different in that
there's no
regard.
right or
About,
wrong.
yeah, about the way that you want to approach these waters of fear. Yeah, there's no right or wrong. The only wrong way is to live a life where you never at least toe tickle the surface of the water and say, what if?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that to me, I would, I'd rather like, strike out than never swing the bat, and stand there and think like, man, what if I that fastball down the center? What if I would have swung at that and
Yeah,
connected? Would it have been a home run? Would it have been a single? Would I have completely missed and swung and fell on my ass?
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know unless I swung the bat, but just watching the fastball go down, standing there with the bat on my shoulder and just looking at it, I could tell you what's going to happen. You're going to end up striking out, you
Yeah.
know, 9 times out of 10.
Mhm.
So, so I think this the grace of expansion and just, not letting that voice of fear, um, limit you and totally control you and, listening to it, but not letting it kind of And that's the paradox, the mind and the heart. Mind may say stop, and the heart's like, no, 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 we can't. Because when you're attuned to the heart, you can't stop. It's like a magnet. It's just
Yeah.
gonna pull you in that direction. And how fast you get there is just by how fast you can clean up your stuff and that resistance.
And that's bringing that loving awareness to all those aspects of you. And just, okay, well, just in this instance, if you don't vibe with the conversation of inner child and the voices and this, that's fine. All right, let's just call it mind and heart. It's getting the mind and the heart to talk to each other
Mhm.
and be aware of why this wants this and why this is pulling back from that, and just like human beings need to do, just look at each other, understand, and then move on together.
Yeah. Maybe
I mean,
getting trying to get that level of alignment between the mind and the heart, that
yeah,
balance.
yeah, and
Because
find
the
out,
mind is keep you safe.
right, find out what's going to work, and the only way you can do that is by doing the work of tuning your eyes into this and that, and having them look at each other, and being an active participant in this conversation of mind, heart, and Ray or John in the middle, saying like, being the mediator and like, hey, what about this? What about that? Do you see this? Do you see that? Do you got to, and then hopefully, boom, boom, pow, right?
That's
That's all I got, bro.
all I got, man.
All right. On that note, then we want to do a quick episode. I think we did. From
Yep.
our hearts to yours. Thank you for tuning in. Follow us everywhere: TikTok, Patreon, Instagram, Facebook. Just search the Bodhi Bros. You'll find it. We have a link tree to make it easy for you. Go to linktree.com/the Bodhi Bros, and you can find us everywhere. Support. We love you. Thank you. Till next time. I'm John with a J.
Phoenix Ray, loving energy your way.
Oh, I like that. Received and reciprocated.